Halo.
Oke.
Buka jadi pembukaan yang bagus.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum teman-teman.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are fifth group. My name is Nurul Fitra.
My name is Nurul Parah.
My name is Soraya Khumaira.
And today we are going to do some simulation of our discussion. So this is about discourse analysis, the brief information about discourse analysis. So we have 7 questions here and we're going to answer that one by one. Okay, let's start now.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question is, there are 3 perspectives used to explain the reasons for studying discourse analysis. What perspectives are they? Please briefly describe and answer. Who go first?
Soraya first.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say first.
Okay. As we know that there is 3 perspectives. The reason why we learn discourse analysis, and the first perspective is academic reason, and then the second perspective is pragmatic reason, and then the third is pedagogical reason. The academic reason, as we know that we are from English Education Department and discourse analysis is one of our subjects, so we have to learn it because there is our subject. And then the second is pragmatic reason. The pragmatic reason is talking about structural and functional language. I remember about the story from our lecture.
Oh yes, we remember about that.
From Mr. Kahar. He's talking about his friends when Mr. Kahar and his friends going to practice their English speaking skill, and they going to the Losari and found one tourism sitting in a bench, and Mr. Kahar's friends started to talking with tourism. He start with the question, "Excuse me, sir, why do you taking the picture of the sun?"
What's wrong with that question?
Okay.
Yes, what's wrong with that question?
That question is so ordinary. That's okay.
I think,
From grammar is nothing.
The grammar is good.
The grammar is okay.
He's asking for permission. Excuse me, or what's
So
wrong with
what's
that?
wrong with that question?
And then what the tourism replaying of that question, he said that, "What is your problem?"
Wow. It's unexpected answer.
Unexpected answer. I would be very shameful as well.
That tourism is so irritating by the questions of Mr. Kahar's friends. I don't know why, but after that, Mr. Kahar explained that there is nothing wrong with the grammar, nothing wrong. But in a function, you have to understand the situation. You have to know about the native speaker, what is native speaker's culture from his country. You must learn it. So that's why we have to learn discourse analysis by pedagogical side.
Pragmatical reasons.
Pragmatical
Okay.
reason.
Okay, and then the pedagogical side is from perspective from pedagogical is talking about teaching. Yeah, we are as education department. We already know that. We already knew that we will be a teacher someday. We will be a tutor. We will teaching our knowledge, share our knowledge to our students. So in the pedagogical side, we have to learn about how to share information, teaching our theories to our students to make it more comfort, to make the class more actively with the students and the teachers relations. Is it?
Okay, that's very interesting answer and from interesting question. So yes, still the same question. There are three perspectives. So the first perspective is academic reasons. Is academic reasons? Is it? Okay.
Academic reason.
The academic reasons. I think everyone who learned English, both especially us, as a students of English education program, we are required to know not only about the form of English itself, like pronunciation, the vocabularies, grammatical research and stuff, but also we need to learn about the function, and that's why we need to learn about this discourse analysis, both to explore and investigate our knowledge about the social function of the both text and thoughts. Yes. And second is pragmatical reasons. As I said previously about the function, we need to know when and where we are going to use the sentence in the daily life. Like sometimes sometimes when we want to talk, we produce what we are going to say in our head with bahasa form and say it in bahasa form, but actually we need to think like a native and talk like a native. That's pragmatical reasons.
We're talking
But
with the
sometimes,
bahasa.
sometimes we make it like, okay, I
Yes.
think in bahasa, I say it in bahasa, so we make a form in bahasa, and that's not as smooth as native.
Yes.
Okay, and the third is pedagogical reasons. Someday, as Soraya said previously, we will be a teacher, a lecturer, and live. And it's really important to teach your children, your students in the future, about the function of language itself. So, and make and make sure you make the classroom situation as comfort as possible, so so your students can practice their English as often as possible. I think that's all. That's for me. How about Farah?
Okay, I agree with both of you. There are three perspectives. I will make it clear. There's three perspectives why we learn about discourse analysis. The first is academic reasons, like you said before that we are as a students in English education department must be learn about discourse analysis, because in our daily life we will talk about the discourse. We are learn about the analysis, and we must know how to use them, how to analyzing the discourse in our classroom.
Yes, and we
Our
learn about it also.
Yes, we learn about it every
That is our
day,
subject.
every day in our semester. And then the second is about pragmatical reasons. Now, the pragmatical reasons is talk about the meaning of the sentence. So, if we want to make a sentence, not just about the form of the sentence, but also the function of that sentence. So,
That's really important.
yes, if we want to make a good sentence and someone can understand about what we say, we must see it from the function too. So
The function is very
the function is very important if we want to make a sentence. And then the third is about pedagogical sentence. Pedagogical sentence is about how we teach, how we make someone understand about discourse analysis. If we maybe someday we will be a teacher, so we must Amin. So we must teach our students, and they can understand what we say, or they can catch what we
have explained.
yes, what we explain to them. So it's very important to learn discourse analysis. Okay, it's about question number 1. So we move to the question in number second.
And now for the question number 2.
Yep.
I like this question.
Yes.
Who should learn discourse analysis and why? Please
Okay.
explain your answer in detail. I think I can go first. About
Okay,
this.
okay.
This is my
You
favorite
can go
question.
first.
This is my favorite question. I think everyone who studied about English about. I think everyone who study linguistic needs to learn about discourse analysis.
Yeah.
Not only they are who study English or another languages, for example like Germanese or even bahasa. We need to learn about the discourse analysis. Why? Because if we only learn about the structure without know the function, I think it's just like walking around with just one shoe. You know,
Yes,
you can
that's right.
you can so when we talk about the pronunciation, the vocabularies, grammatical context, we also need to learn about the function when and where we use the language, both for text and talks. I think that's for me. But Farah?
Okay. Like you say before that, everyone should learn about discourse analysis because discourse analysis is very close relationship with other subjects like communication, anthropology, sociology, and psychology.
Wow, that's
Yes,
I love anthropology.
I read that in book. So I think we must learn about discourse analysis, not just for the students in English education, but in every students in college maybe should learn about this discourse analysis because they must know how to communicate with others, how to make a sentence, how to make a good sentence when talk with others. So it's very important to learn about discourse analysis.
Oh yes, yeah, I very agree with you.
I agree.
Farah?
Yeah.
Soraya.
Soraya. Oh my gosh, I forgot your name. I'm sorry.
You hurt me.
No,
Please go
no,
ahead.
please.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
This question is very simple actually, and you too already answered the question. Is you? I agree with you, and everyone can learn discourse analysis actually.
Everyone.
Yeah, not just because you are from English education department
Yeah.
or you are from English department
Literature.
or yeah, anything you from English major, but also when you from economy, you from social or any major you are.
Medical students. Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
medical students. You will face something in English. Maybe your business partner, maybe your business partner is from another country or a tourism. Maybe you meet some tourists on the street on the road. Maybe you will rate them. So you have to learn di- discourse analysis. Yeah, everyone can learn discourse analysis. This subject, this study is very important for
Yes.
you who want to master reading English.
It's very
Yeah,
useful
it's
in
very
our
useful.
life, right?
Yes, like I said previously about the first question, like sometimes we think in bahasa
Yes.
and we say it in bahasa also, but we need to change that perspective. Like we may think in bahasa, but let's produce it in
Native.
English form,
From in a
as
native.
smooth as native. Yes.
There will be a
Okay.
miscommunication if you
Yeah,
say
if
it in
you-
bahasa.
bahasa.
Okay,
Yes.
next.
Okay. It's question number
3.
So the question number 3 is, what should the students do in learning discourse analysis? Please explain your answer in detail. Soraya. Okay, Soraya can
You
go.
can go first.
I'll go first. What should the student do in learning discourse analysis? I'm so sorry if I mistake.
Yes.
I just entering the room. I just entering the class last week.
Yes.
I don't even remember what we're learning about discourse analysis. It's just an introduction about what is discourse analysis last week, and what we do, what we should learn. I don't know. I'm still don't have the book. Is I just ordered the book, and I no didn't pay it yet.
Oh yes.
Maybe later.
So am I.
And then the book is talking about discourse analysis, and then we already make a deal with our lecturer about the groups, group like this, and then we answer the question. The question is consists of 7 questions, and then the groups will be discuss the questions together and make a video like this.
Yes. It's FGD.
Yeah, and then in the classroom again, we will back and discuss the question again with our friend, but we will make a what it we will evaluate our English speaking in the class. Yeah, maybe just it.
So, Farah?
Okay, actually, I have read in the textbook that Mr. Kaha sent to us. There are at least two main activities that students do in learning discourse analysis. The first is the student must to know the theoretical concept of the discourse analysis. So it's the first step we do in learning discourse analysis. That is, we must know or we must understand about the theoretical concept of the discourse analysis. And then after we know the theoretical concept, we must know how to analyzing a discourse, how to analyzing a particular of discourse. So after we know the theory, we know the concept.
Okay, your understanding
yes,
is more than me.
it is two activities we do in learning discourse analysis. Know the theoretical concept. After that, know the concept of the analyzing discourse.
Yes.
How about you?
I think I agree with you that we need to do two things. First is to know and to practice.
Yes.
To know the concept, to know the theory, what we will learn for these semesters, and to practice it. I think both to talk and write. So
Like
maybe
we do now.
yeah, like we do now, a focus group discussion. I think we'll do a group discussion in next meetings, and for text, I think it's a requirement. It's a requirement. So can we graduate from here? We'll write a thesis, and that's discourse analysis.
Yeah,
We need to write
discourse
in
analysis.
just like native. And in
analyze.
English form, not Indonesian form.
Of
And-
course, we are in English area,
Yeah,
right?
yes, yeah. Okay, that's it from the third question.
Okay.
Okay, move to the fourth question. So this is the question number 4. You're very excited for the question number 4.
Really?
Question number 4 is, what are the advantages of learning discourse analysis? What would the students achieve? So, general, there are 4 advantages we got when we learn about discourse analysis. I will explain in general, and both of you, yes, and both of you will explain more specifically. Okay? So in general, there are 4 advantages you will got when you learn about the discourse analysis. I think there are more advantages, but in this section, in this book, we only read about 4. Four actually? Okay.
There's 4 points in there.
Yes, we'll get a knowledge. We will able to investigate and explore not only about the not only about the structural function, the structural about the language itself, but also the social function. I think I will give you the more explanation, but you can go for that explanation. Okay.
Who's first?
Who's go first?
Let me.
Okay, Farah.
Okay, about the point 1, of course, if we learn something, we will get knowledge about that. So if we learn about discourse analysis, we will get more knowledge and understanding about the discourse analysis itself. So that the advantage we can get if we learn about the discourse analysis. And then the second point is, we can, as a students, we can get, how to say, our understanding, how to say, thinking skills.
Critical thinking
Critical.
skill.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, I forget that words. Critical thinking. Yes?
Yes.
If we learn about discourse analysis, that's about the meaning of the sentence. So we will, how to say,
We try to think like a native.
yes, we think more than what we read.
Yeah.
If we read something, we will thinking about what the meaning of this sentence, what will be. So
You more get the meaning of that thing.
yes,
Yes, it's often our perspective about a word.
yes, it's more than what we see, what we read in
Yeah.
our textbook. So
Oh.
we must learn about discourse analysis for more understanding and more knowledge about that.
Okay, thank you for your answer, guys. And then I will explain more specific about this point. Is discourse analysis is to provide uh, your clear understanding about discourse analysis context. Is about how you can uh, make your conformity on your speaking skill. So you will improve your skill because someday you will teach in a classroom, you will teach your students, and you will make the classes more active. So you need to increase your speaking skill, how you can use your critical thinking, and how you can understand what the meaning of the context, or some textbook, or maybe a data that you just explain to your students. Maybe that's all.
Okay.
That's for the question number 4.
Yes.
I hope you guys still here because this is question number
5.
Okay, so the question is, according to the RFU, what should be learned and should be taught in foreign language? Please explain your answer in detail. I think I can go first for this.
Yes,
Okay,
you
please.
can go first.
So I put myself as an English teacher one day. As an English teacher, I think I'm not only teach about how to form language, but also teach them how to form the function to in social in real social interaction. So by bringing the information about discourse analysis into the pedagogical system and combine it, elaborate it with these four language skills, I think I can teach my students about discourse analysis, especially about the function of language. I think that's the thing we learn about.
Okay.
We need to learn and talk in discourse analysis.
Okay. Okay, same as your answer.
Yeah.
As a students in English Education Department, we must learn how to make it a sentence. So if we want to make a sentence, not just to know about the form of the sentence, but we must know the function of the sentence, so we can get a clear understanding when we communicate with others. If we know about the form and the function of the sentence. And then what should taught in discourse analysis as a foreign language? We know that discourse analysis is not just about the vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, and others, but actually about the the meaning of the sentence. So besides taught the students about the grammar, pronunciation, we must teach the students about how to make a sentence with the how to say, like
A proper
yeah,
way, like
appropriately,
native.
like a native use that sentence too. So I think
Learn become a native.
yes,
Like
learn how like a native.
Because it's not our language actually.
Yeah,
Yes, but we must try
Yeah.
as a native.
But I think it's quite hard.
but
It's
but I
really
re-
hard
I,
actually.
I remember the native speaker how they learn bahasa,
Yeah.
and they actually did it. Hey,
Of course, we did it.
why a native speaker can speak bahasa but we can't speak like a native speaker?
So we must learn about discourse analysis so we can like a native too.
Oh yeah, that's why sometimes when tourists come to Indonesia, they try to speak in Bahasa, but they produce it in English form, so it sounds kind of weird.
Yes.
I think that's how they feel if we talk to them and we use
But
Bahasa
it's
form.
okay.
Oh yeah.
It's how we learn about a language, a new language.
we have to more confident
Yes.
with
Yes.
this. No worries about the mistakes. It's okay to be mistake, and sometimes you have to be.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then next to my question, my answer is learning and teaching is discourse analysis. The two things is teaching and learning is engaged by exploring the text and speak. So the two concept is analyzing the data, or you will analyzing how people speak is. But one thing that you can what I can catch from this is students when you learn, students are surrounded by experience, and sometimes when a students had a question about maybe someday maybe I met some tourism, and then I got a new experience. I tried talking with him, and then I found something that I don't know, the words or maybe the sentence. Maybe I will asking to my teacher or my lecturer. I will ask why the response is like that, why blah 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 and blah blah blah, and that is the things what we should learn and what we should teach is when you met a problem, you have to make a question. You have to ask it with someone. It's the teacher and students function in a classroom. That is.
Okay,
Okay.
that's for the question number 9.
We move to the question number 6.
So this is for the question number 6 and 7.
6.
It's 6 and 7.
Oh,
Yes.
you make it double.
Yes, let's make it trouble. Question number 6 is, in more specific case, what are the advantages of learning discourse analysis according pragmatic perspective? Who will go first? Me?
Okay, I will go first.
Okay, please.
I have 3 points of the advantage of learning discourse analysis according the pragmatic perspective. The first is to inform the learners about the linguistic features of language used in real life context. So how we use the discourse analysis in our real life context, how we communicate with others in our social life. And then the second point is find out how language should be used for communication, like I said before, how we use a word, how we use a sentence when we communicate with others. And the last point is recognize the most appropriate use of language for communication. Is same as the point 1 and point 2 about how we use the sentence when we communicate with others, how we see it from the context of the sentence, not just from the form of the sentence, but also the function, or we can say the meaning of the sentence.
Yeah.
That's from me.
Yeah. Soraya?
Okay, maybe that's not really different from it, but I can add some. My answer is okay. For the first is inform about the linguistic feature of language. Yeah. As we know that we already learned about linguistic on last semester. No, in the first semester.
First.
Yeah, in the first semester that we study that linguistic has a branch of study is there is consist of 6 study in linguistic. The first is phonetic and phonology and morphology, syntax, semantic and pragmatics.
Yes.
The 6th study is was completed by this study, discourse analysis.
Of course.
And then the function from discourse analysis is to catch the meaning. After you make a word for the first, for the first you have to recognize how to use the sound of the word, and then how to use the word, how to use the sentence, and how to speak, how to make a paragraph, and then the next is how to analyze
The sentence.
Yeah, the sentence.
And all the whole
The
paragraph.
whole paragraph is all the to recognize, to analyze about the language. And then as like Farah said before, that we have to learn about what appropriate word that we can use in communicating, and what is the inappropriate word. So maybe that's it.
Okay, I think I have exact same question
Yes.
with you too, but I'll make it clear like explanation in general. The things that we will learn in discourse analysis, especially in these pragmatical reasons, is the way we use the linguistic feature properly, both in communication, when we communicate with others, like we try to think in English and try to speak in English also as well as native, and also we find a proper way to describe something, and yes, I think that's in general because you
Yes.
who has explained it, have
Yeah.
explained, and I think that's a good
It's
explanation.
Yes, it's
I,
clear.
I don't have something to
So
say about
how
it.
about we
actually.
move to the
Question
question number 7?
So this is question number
7, and this is the last question.
Finally.
Okay, the last question is okay. Drum roll.
Ta-da-da-da-da-da.
It's funny. Okay.
I actually wait for this.
Okay. How to use DA in pedagogical context?
Okay.
Okay. I think.
After semantic
to go first.
Yes.
Can I?
I don't know.
Okay.
Can I go first?
I don't know.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. The question is how to use discourse analysis in pedagogical context.
Yes.
As we know that pedagogical context is how we teach or how we make someone understand about the knowledge. So the first is how we can make our students, if we have a students, if we a lecturer soon,
I mean,
how we can make our students understand about what we deliver to them. It's about how they can get the information from us as soon as easily, not
As soon
make
as possible.
yeah, as soon as possible in a simple way or
Yeah.
in a simple explanation.
Yes, it is. Students right now
Yes.
really like require a simple explanation.
Yes,
They
of
don't want
course. Actually,
complicated.
they get bored if
Yeah,
we
give a long,
yeah a lot of
complicated
explanation and they cannot understand about that. So
you have to make it understandable.
yes,
Yeah.
we must make it a simple explanation for them. So
Yeah.
we can use this discourse analysis when we teach our students.
Okay,
That's
that's a
from
really
me.
good explanation.
How about you?
I'll go first. What the question is? Oh, how to use DA in pedagogical context. I think the way we use discourse analysis in pedagogical context is to elaborate both discourse analysis and pedagogical system. We can like you elaborate the discourse analysis in your curriculum and in your syllabus, and then use the discourse analysis while you make the methodology when you teach your students. And the last is what is the last? I forgot what it. Let me. Oh yes, the technique when you provide the topics to your students. Make sure that you provide a comfort situation so they can learn, and then
more easily.
make a situation like in a native speaker, so they are trying to thinking more like a native. That's a HOTS, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What's HOTS again?
How it is. There is on my notes.
Yes,
I
there
know
is.
about it.
It's about the critical thinking.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, maybe just me.
Yes.
Okay. Discourse analysis can be used in pedagogical context. Uh, what I can capture about this discourse is discourse analysis is from pedagogical context is when you teach something. When a teacher talking about their theory, they want to deliver their knowledge to to their students, and to make it more simple, like what Farah said before, uh, the teacher have to know have to know about how to deliver it more comfort
Yes.
How to make the classes more comfort and more active, and how it can deliver 100%. No, maybe not 100%, but maybe some
99%.
But
Maybe-
we try
yeah.
to provide a good
Yes.
circumstances for our students.
yeah
With a
with,
simple
with
explanation.
a simple explanation, and we can make it more good. We can make a good class when we learn about discourse analysis. Yeah.
Yes, because we, like I said previously, we elaborate in curriculum, in syllabus, methodology, and techniques
Yeah.
and
Yes.
teaching.
Yeah, maybe that's all.
That's all the question. Oh my gosh.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Have done.
It's all that?
Yes.
Okay.
The 7
This is-
question have answered.
It's like Ariana Grande's song Seven Rings. No, it's the
No, no,
seven
please, no, no, no,
question.
no,
It's
No,
the seven.
no song, no song. Okay.
I thought it will be 10 or maybe 12 questions.
No, there's just 7.
No, it's just
But
7.
please don't add anything again.
Oh,
Just
okay.
7.
It's-
If you can minimize it, it's okay.
It's
Maybe
okay.
just 5. Maybe just 5 questions.
But so far we like the questions.
But actually, this question is easy.
And from the
actually-
section 1 we
Not
found
too hard.
yes, and the section 1 we found the book is very interesting
I'm
and
still enjoy it.
and well understand. Okay, so that's all for today's discussion. Can't wait to see you all in
The next discussion.
the next discussion in the classroom and the next video. We
Okay.
are the group 5 here,
Soraya Khumaira.
Nurul Parah.
and I'm Nurul Fitra. Thank you very much for your nice attention. Bye.
Assalamualaikum. we use the apakah gue nggak tahu.
For question number 2.
Oh,